Hey guys, Eric here. So I am building a custom keyboard for another friend. This is for a Secret Santa gift, so he doesn't know that I'm making this for him, but I know he needs a keyboard. So this one has been really cool to plan out. I have some parts and I'm going to start customizing the base, so I'm going to take you guys through that process of what I'm going to do, because I think it's going to be pretty cool and I think it's going to end up sounding really cool. So this is the base I went with. I tried to get away from the EpoMaker TH80 Pro base. I know there are lots of other bases out there, but when you want something that's functional, quick, wireless, and wired, because these are for arcade machines typically. So this one I went with is a white base, whereas last time I used a black base. These typically have good weight to them, so I won't be adding weight directly, but this is what the white one looks like. It's really nice. It's got south-facing LEDs, which is, you know, not ideal, but it's fine. Wired and wireless. Here's the wireless dongle here. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to take it apart and I'm going to see if there's any space that I can put some epoxy resin in the base. Now, why am I going to do that? Not only will it give it a little more heft, but it will also dampen the sound a little bit, and I hope to give it like a little throatier sound. I'll also be lubing the stabilizers here. I mean, these stabilizers are okay. I've got switches and keycaps coming in. They should make this thing sound really, really sweet, as well as look really, really awesome. So I can't wait for that. Anyway, we're going to do the resin in the base. I'm probably going to tape up the bottom of the PCB as well. Again, it dampens the sound and it just gives it more of a thought, and I like it. And again, this has a volume knob here. I also apologize in advance for the video and sound quality. I'm on my phone. I don't have my YouTube camera with me right now. So that's the reason why I'm doing this on my phone. Anyway, there are no screws on this base. It's just these clips that are here on the bottom, as you can see, like right there. And it's pretty easy to just open up. Alright, so once we remove the foam, this is what the base looks like. This is the battery area for the wireless. I don't think I'm going to put any epoxy resin in there. However, I do like that these other areas are sectioned off. So I should be able to put a little bit of epoxy resin in each of these areas. I'll tape off this hole so it doesn't leak. It should be pretty good, and it should add to the sound. So we're going to go ahead and mix up just a little bit of epoxy resin. So you want to be really careful when you're using epoxy resin, just because some of them have odors and whatnot. This one is supposed to be odorless, but it takes 24 to 48 hours to fully cure. So you just want to be aware of that. If you're going to use epoxy resin, just let it sit until it's fully cured. I think that's the only hole that I have to tape up, because I'm not going to put any over here. This is clear resin because no one's really going to see it. So got a wooden stick here so I can mix up my resin, and we will just pour a little bit of each solution. Going to pour it into these little sectioned off areas, and I'm not going to do much in each area. I just want it to fill up a little bit, and I'm just going to let it naturally kind of settle wherever it's going to settle and spread out. So while that keyboard is drying, or the base is drying, we're going to work with the PCB here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use painter's tape, and I'm going to tape up the bottom. Now why am I going to do this? This also, as I mentioned earlier, further dampens the sound and just gives you kind of a throatier sound to your keyboard. Some people would say, you know, don't tape up your PCB. You definitely don't want to use any tape like duct tape or anything like that, because that could possibly be conductive. This is painter's tape, which is not conductive, and I've done this on a number of keyboards before, and it makes it sound different. Pretty good, actually. If you want a cheap mod for your keyboard, you can do a tape mod. So I've taped up the base and cleaned up the edges a little. I'm sorry, not the base, the PCB. That's what it looks like. You've got the cutouts for the screws and the wireless dongle. Also, you make sure the switch still operates. And this will add to the sound, or rather take away from the sound, of the switches once we put them in. Once the base is dry, the base epoxy is dry, and we get the switches and the keycaps in, we will continue building this keyboard to completion, and you'll see exactly what I had planned. So this is going to be part 2 of the keyboard build I'm doing. This is the base and everything put back together. It's got the silicone in it, or not silicone, it's got the resin in it, so it's actually quite weighty, and it feels really solid now. I think it's gonna be a really good keyboard. I really like the weight of it. Heavy keyboards feel more premium. It's still got the foam in there, and it's great. I think it feels really good. As you can see, I was able to, let me hold it up, cut out a place for a little switch down there so you can switch it to wired or wireless. So right now we got our switches in, and these are the switches I went with. I like these switches a lot, and I think they will go good with the overall theme once we get the keycaps in. These are Aco V3s. These are the cream black Pros. I really like these switches. So we're gonna open them up, check them out, and then I'll get the switches put in here. So let's pull the switches out and I'll show you guys. I love the boxes that Aco uses. Cream black Pros. These are a linear switch. Oh, they look so nice. Look at that. I think Aco is quickly becoming my favorite switch company. Oh, they feel so good. They look great, they feel great, they have kind of the transparent top on them. The stem is black, the base is black, but the top part is transparent, and I think that's going to be really good for the RGB that's in this keyboard. Anyway, we're going to fill it up with switches, and yeah, I'll show you guys what it looks like. Alright, so the switches are all in. Looks pretty good. I think I'm going to do something with this volume knob. It's like champagne color right now. And that doesn't really go with the theme of the keyboard. I'll probably see if I can find a custom volume knob that's a bit better. But anyway, that's what it looks like with the switches in. I think this keyboard's going to sound really good with these switches. It looks good, but let's try and just flip on the RGB real quick. Whoa, check that out. Yeah, so that was just the default RGB. I just wanted to turn that on and test it real quick. This is going to be a beautiful keyboard. I hope my friend enjoys it. I'm sure he will. But yeah, let's see what we can do about that volume knob. And when the keycaps finally come in, we can put those on, and then we can test out the completed keyboard. Alright guys, so this is the next part of the custom keyboard I'm building. And today we get to add the keycaps to it. and almost finish it up. I'm still waiting for one last part. But before we add the keycaps, I am going to lube up the stabilizers of this because I want it all to sound really good. This is the lube here, some Kinetic Labs stabilizer and switch lube. This is really good stuff, and it's not too expensive. I'll put a link to everything down in the description. But basically, I'm going to lube up the stabilizers. And the way I do that is I just go ahead and shoot some lube right in here into each part of the stabilizer. These stabilizers, they come factory lubed, but I just, I don't know what kind of quality the lube is. Probably actually decent, but I just want to get some extra lube in there. And we'll finally get to see, or hear rather, how this keyboard's going to sound once we have all the keycaps in. So that'll be fun. So a story about the keycaps here is that I actually, keyboard components are weird. There's a bunch of group buys, and sometimes you're ordering stuff from overseas, so it can take a long time. So the original set of keycaps I ordered, they basically just never came. I ordered them over a month ago now, and they just never came. So I didn't know what was going on. I finally emailed, and they just gave me a refund. So I said, all right, well, I gotta find some new keycaps. These are the ones I went with, and the reason why I went with these is because they are Super Nintendo colors. And Super Nintendo is not only one of my favorite systems, but the person that I'm building this keyboard for, it's one of their favorite systems. So they should be happy with this. I've also got a special key here that's going to go on the escape key. And I have a fully customized volume knob that's on the way as well. So we will be replacing this volume knob with a customized volume knob. That's the last part I'm waiting for. But let's get these keycaps in, and we'll see how this keyboard sounds. Alright, so this is what it looks like with the keys in. I love the Super Nintendo color scheme here. It looks super good. Let's get the special escape key in. This is the escape key, and it'll make sense. Once I have the volume knob, this escape key will make more sense. This is a resin escape key, but if you look really closely, it is the moon, and it'll make more sense later, but let's go ahead and put it right there. The keyboard sounds incredible. Alright guys, we're going to get this plugged in and see if we can do a keyboard test. I mean, it sounds great already, but I want to test that all the switches and keys are working, and then I'll get a better sound test for you. Yep. Alright. Nice. Alright. All keys are working. So this is how the keyboard looks with the RGB on. It's not bright. It's not too bright right now. At night it'll look way better. And you can change the lighting modes and whatnot, but I think it'll look crispy at night. I love the moon key that I have there. It's really, really nice. I love the resin look, and I can't wait till I get the customized volume knob. And then this keyboard will be ready to ship out. Super pumped for this. This is the final piece of the keyboard, the custom keyboard I've been building, which is a custom volume knob that was created by a friend of mine. 3D printed out of resin. It looks super good. Here's the original volume knob. So what I'm going to do is, if you look right in there, you've got two holes. One is for a screw and the other one is for the insert that goes in there. So I gotta duplicate just one of those holes here inside this volume knob so that we can get it put on the keyboard, and then the keyboard will be ready to ship. I cannot wait. This keyboard it's been a joy to build, but getting all the parts for it has been crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and drill this hole and put the volume knob on and then pack it up. So now we're just gonna put it here. It fits on perfectly. So Wolf's got his Wolf volume knob, and then he's got his moon over there that the Wolf can howl to, and this beautiful keyboard. I guess I just kind of revealed who this is going to, but anyway, I hope he enjoys it. This keyboard has been a blast to build. This keyboard has been incredible to build. It has taken an insanely long time, and that's because I went through trying to find the correct keycaps and ordered multiple keycap sets, and some of them didn't come, some of them had to be refunded, some of them weren't in stock, and so until I finally settled on this keycap set that I was able to get at a reasonable price, and it came in, and the keyboard looks great. So I hope they're happy with it. I'm sure they will be. It's been a great build. I've already got another keyboard in the queue, and I'll do some videos for that one as well. But either way, this has been really fun. Now it's time to pack this up and get it shipped, and it's on its way to you. Hope you enjoy.